Hi everybody, here's my promised tutorial on the Celastrus berry. I'm hoping to do this in one take, so if I have too many ers, I'm sorry. It's a lovely little berry, as you can see, red with a yellow husk, and I've done lots of practicing on this and discovered that there is an easier way of doing it, so I'd like to share that with you now. So that's what we're going to end up with. Okay, you'll need some red paste of your choice, medium of your choice. This is Artista Soft, but it's up to you what you want to use. Sugar is fine, whatever's fine. You'll need some 28 gauge white wires, cut into probably 6. You only need them very small. You can make them longer if you want. I like long wires to play with, but it is a bit wasteful. You need to make some little balls about the size of a petit pois and have your glue open. Edible glue if you're using sugar. Just dip the end in, take the excess off, push it through so that it just comes out at the other end about 3 millimeters, something like that. I think you can see that. And that's it, and just leave those to, oh sorry, then you to put your lines on. So you take a craft knife and you want 3 lines going down the berry. So 1, and I'll have a look from the top, because you've got to divide it into thirds, which is a bit more awkward than quarters. Hold it still. 2, 3. Then if you because I've squashed it slightly, I'm just going to reshape it. Make sure it's as round as possible. Pinch it on, although the glue should keep it on. So, and leave those to dry. And then when they're dry, I've got some here. You're going to glaze them. If you're not happy with the colour at this point, you can actually dust them with a little bit of red, but I'm quite happy with that. That's about the right colour. Just some glaze, and when they're dry, it's the one I just made, just dip in full strength glaze, give them a little shake. You may need to glaze them twice, leave that to dry, and if it's not quite shiny enough you may need to do it twice. So wait till those are dry. Never get this on anything that you don't want to throw away, apart from your sugar work. Can't get it off, awful stuff. Well, great stuff, but okay, so here are our berries that I made earlier, glazed and ready. Now for I've been practicing with all sorts of things, with sugar, with tape, with Artista Soft, with loads of different things to see what works best. And because these husks that come off the berry are so fine, I've found that the best way to do it is to use floristry tape. So I'm going to stretch it slightly, and then you can fold it if you like, but fold it concertina, 3 maximum, otherwise they stick together and you can't get them apart. And then cut 3 little leaf shapes, a little bit longer than you actually want them to be. Okay, then you will need your craft knife or a scriber to get them apart again, which is a bit of a mission, which is why it's probably easier to just cut them one at a time. In fact, I'm going to try with my craft knife, see if that will do it. You could be watching the first live finger removal video. I tend to be a bit accident prone with craft knives. Made plenty of scars to prove it. There we go. It's probably just as quick to do them one at a time, but anyway. Then you'll need your scriber, and I'm just going to put that on my hand and just run the scriber down the middle so that it crinkles slightly, or you can use a cell pad if you prefer. crinkles slightly and just has a vein down the centre. Ooh, it's alive. That's it. There you go. And then a little bit of glue. You may not need the glue, actually you only need a tiny, tiny touch because the tape is already slightly sticky. So I'm only going to touch it on the glue. And then with the vein uppermost, so the ridge of the vein is showing, just press it on. It's a little bit fiddly. Just need a bit of patience. Press it on, just under the berry, onto the wire. And then squeeze on at the base, nice and simple. There you go. And then just position them where you want them. Some of them will turn back a bit further, some of them will be up. And there it is, it's ever so simple. Then when you're going to tape down the length of the berry, the stem that the berry is on is usually yellow. So I take 1/8 width tape, very, very narrow, just sit and cut them while you're watching telly. 1/8 width, and come down the stem. There you go, 1/8 width. And it also helps to keep the husks on. And then where it joins the twig, if you want to do a real piece like this, where it joins the twig, then you can dust that bit with a little bit of brown just to blend it in. But if you're going to use them, I would use them in little bunches like that on a short twig. So there's your berry. Okay, now we're going to put it on our twig. Twig, you've made twigs with me before, I think. Most of you have. Okay, so we got 1/2 width brown tape and an 18 gauge wire, or a 20, doesn't matter, whichever you've got. And first of all, rough tape, and this suits my style because my taping is not terribly neat. It's something I need to work on. And this suits my style because it doesn't want to be neat, which is great. That's why I love making twigs. Right, so all the way down. Then you can introduce another wire, and I've got here a 26. Don't worry if it's not neat because twigs aren't totally straight, and we're going to actually make it even worse in a minute. All the way down. You can cut this in half then and use it twice. Join that one. Oh, first of all, I'm going to finish off the end. And the way to finish off the end is to put another piece on, about 2 centimetres. It helps to twiddle the other way so that you're going up towards the end of the branch. Twiddle off the end and keep twiddling. So there's the end of the wire. Just keep twiddling on itself. Cut it off. And the more you twiddle, it will actually start to bend itself like that, so you get a nice neat edge. And the Celastrus is a climber, so it climbs through things, so it has long tentacly bits, windy bits like that all over the place. So it's almost like a vine. And then you can go with some slightly thinner tape, narrower tape, sorry, not thinner. Attach, cut off, and then keep twiddling free of the stem. You have to start it off. Don't twiddle too tight, otherwise it'll break. Just get it started and then hold it where it joins the stem so that doesn't break off, and just keep twiddling. And we all know how much we love twiddling. And that gives you your tendril. Just keep twiddling, twiddle on itself, and eventually it will start itself to bend. You can see it's doing that now. If you want it to be a little bit more sort of where you want it to bend, you just cut that off there. You just get something round, like a cell stick or something like that. Just wind it round, squeeze it, and then pull it off. And you've got, there's your tendril. Once you've got your the end of your twig sorted how you want it, oops, do that a little bit closer. You may, if you like, just put a little tiny dab of glue there just to stop it unravelling. That does help. And then your berries, again, 1/8 width tape. Your berries will be taped yellow like these, and they attach in groups of 3 or 4 to the main stem, like that, with about 2 centimetres, I suppose, of stem before they join. And they're before they join the main stem, and they're in groups of 3, 4, something like that. And then I'll just show you. You would perhaps take, I find that transition too strong, so I would actually get a paintbrush and just very sort of gently put some brown dust on there to actually just merge them in gently so that it's not such a colour contrast. But there is your Celastrus, or bittersweet berry. I think it's called something of India as well. Beautiful thing, and would look lovely in any Christmas arrangement. So thanks for joining me and for listening. Enjoy your flower making, and I'll see you soon.